Hey you guys, welcome to Caffeinated Knitting. My name is Daniela, known as Caffeinated Gert on the interwebs. You can find me over on Ravelry. There is a group, it's Caffeinated Knitting, all one word. We currently have a Finish All the Things knit along going on. I talked about what the prizes will be last time. I want to make sure to remind you guys that if you would like to enter to win, pick a spot in a one post and keep adding your finished pictures to that. Make sure you add a picture of your work in progress and then the finished picture so I can see where you started and then finished up. I don't care when you started it. It could be a project you started 10 years ago, and if you want to just finish it up, go for it. Some of us have those. I don't. That would drive me crazy. But I do know some people that do. I think my oldest project is from last fall. My Draco is still on the needles. I need to work on that. But anyway, so I wanted to make sure to let you guys know about the knit along. There are 3 awesome prizes. I showed them last week, and I'll show them again maybe next week. I have a lot of stash enhancement to show you this week, so I didn't want it to run too long. So I'll show those again next week. You have until the end of August. There's lots of time, so grab yourself a spot and show me what you finished. And this is in response to Mandy Cat of We Are Yarn, her cast on all the things, because I cast on all the things and got in trouble. So now I have to finish all the things. Thanks, Mandy. It's all in good fun. I'm still wanting to cast everything on. Can I have permission to cast some more stuff on, please? Because I can't stop. I am finishing things kind of slowly, but I just can't stop starting things. I'm also participating in the Christmas knit along, Christmas in July through August for just one more row. So I am doing some Christmas knitting. So some of the stuff where I cast everything on is stuff that does need to be done, and I'm using the opportunity of knitting for Christmas in July. I need to post those over with Knitting Den too, because she's also doing Christmas in July, and hers ends at the end of July. So need to take advantage. I'm trying to take advantage of the momentum to get Christmas knitting done. So far, I have finished 3 hats and a mouse. I cheated a little with the Christmas knitting this year. So we all have those things that we knit, and we really enjoyed them when we knit them. I'm going to move you around a little bit to see if the lighting gets better. I think I need to do something about that light back there when I record. That's better, don't you think? Let me scooch a little bit. I think that's better. Alright. Anyway, so I cheated a little bit. We all have those things that we were excited about. We knit. We had a great time. We learned a new technique. Whatever. We knit the thing and then it sits in a drawer, right? So I have my knitted finished objects drawer. And there are some things in there that I wear quite regularly. Excuse me. I have a couple of hitchhikers that I wear all the time. One's cotton. One's knit out of Blue Moon Fiber Arts. Love those. Wear them all the time. I have a Clapotis I wear all the time in the wintertime. It's kind of Christmassy colors. I have yarn stashed away. I want to knit some more Clapotis because that is really the thing I love wearing the most. But the one that I have is not colors that I really wear very much. It's blues, not blues. It's green and red and black. It's very Christmassy. Anyway. So, I have all these things that I have knit and don't wear. So, I went through my drawer and picked out all the things that I've never worn. And I pulled out like gallon-size zippy bags and with my little notebook. And I made a list of the people I need gifts for. And then I went through my things that I have finished and put their names down on the notebook. Took a Sharpie, wrote on the zippy bag, and put the item in there. So, almost say almost all. I would say 3/4 of my Christmas knitting is done, and there are people getting knitted gifts that normally would not have. How about that? And my drawer is way emptier. Not emptier. Way less full. Anyway, so I can knit some things that, for me, that I will wear. And if I don't wear them after I decide to knit them, hey, I'll do the same thing again next year. Anyway, keeping it fun. So, finished things. I finished hubby's socks. These are crystal cut socks. I only did the pattern on the leg. Looks nice, doesn't it? The yarn is Bugga. I'm quite happy with these. Of course, you know, the way being on the sock blocker, because these are my sock blockers, not hubby's big old long feet sock blockers. They fit him quite well. We went ahead and these were for our anniversary, 15 years. And it's a crystal anniversary, which is why I was looking for something crystally to knit. So, finished those. And I finally finished, and it's still wet because I soaked it this morning. I was going to hang it outside, but I was leaving, and I didn't know if it was going to rain or not, so I left it inside. Otherwise, it'd probably be already dry. So, my huge, ginormous spin. I feel like I spun this forever. It's 2 braids from Knitty & Color. I spun the Milky Way, and then I spun Ain't It Fun, and I applied them together. And this is what I got. Is that not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? It's still wet. Feels yucky. Well, you know. This is 750 yards. Right here. Of mostly fingering, some sport. You can just kind of see it on my finger here. Check it. I cannot wait to knit this up. Absolutely can't wait. So, not only is this 750 yards of goodness right here, I finished plying, ran out of the Milky Way, and still had a crap ton left on my bobbin for the Ain't It Fun. So I plied it with gray lace weight I have in my stash from Highland Handmaids. Beautiful stuff, but I can't knit lace, so I've been plying this slowly but surely with different things. So I applied the Ain't It Fun with the lace weight from Highland Handmaids for another 250 yards. 1,000 yards, boys and girls. 1,000 yards. I just can't even say how awesome that feels. This is going to be an epic knit. Now, though, the gray, I'm thinking when it gets time to knit it, this one's almost dry, the little one. The big one is so not even. So, this is what the big one looks like. I'm trying to get you a good shot of them together. So I can do this here. Okay, this is the big one. This is the little one. See how you can see the gray in it? But it's so close. So I'm thinking when it's time to knit these up, the little one will get used with it, maybe as a stripe. Depends on what I knit, I guess, but I cannot say how much I love this. See? I love it. Anyway. I finished it. Finally. I need to hang this back up because it's dampified. It's wet. And I spun the first half of my Toonies from Fondant. I think it's Fondant fiber. In the Emerald City that I won from We Are Yarn. First half. So if I finish the other 2 ounces between tonight and tomorrow and ply this, I will really have exceeded my ridiculous, ginormous goal. Because my goal originally was to spin the second half of my Ice Dyed, my, what's it called? Sea Glass, my Sea Glass colorway. I spun the bat from Luna Buds. I did not spin the Abstract Fiber, which is why I'm spinning these Poonies, and to spin the braid from Unwind with the bat from Knitting Color, the Stormfront and the Abalone, and then these that I just showed you. I've really kind of exceeded my goal and made my goal already, because I didn't get the whole first 4 ounces of the Sea Glass finished before the tour started. Excuse me. Got tickled. I didn't finish it before the tour started. So I was still finishing the first 4 ounces and had to ply the first 4 ounces before it started. So really, as far as I'm concerned, I've already made that goal because I spun that already too. But I will try to finish these between today and tomorrow if I don't get sidetracked. I had knitting today with some friends. And our local knitting guru that I always say she taught me everything I know. She has a drum carder. And she says, why don't you just take that with you and you can play with it. And then I mentioned that I'm thinking about doing some more designing of stuff. And she says, well, here, take these books. So she sent me home with a stack of books, like, that to study, and a drum carder. I'm excited. So, I have a hoe. I finished the first of Mom's socks. I've been knitting on these here and there. They just kind of do themselves. I love how they striped. They just kind of swirled around. Isn't that awesome? Still have a whole bunch left. This yarn is a Loopy Legend. Back when Zen String still did them, so it's very deep dark stash. It's Nancy's Operacot's Importance of Being Earnest. I don't know what that reference is. Does anybody know? If you know, post it in my thread, because I've always wondered. I just bought it because I like the color, but I'm curious about the name. So I have to finish the other sock for Mom. Do you see a trend here? I now have a sock to finish for Aiden and a sock to finish for Mom. Although Aiden's doesn't need to be done until Christmas. This is for Mom's birthday, so sooner than later would be good. I did work on Dad's Christmas sock just a wee bit. I think I got the cuff done. Let me see here. Yeah. It is knit with Superba print, Dad colors, and I have a cuff. That's all. This is part of my Christmas in July knitting. Now that I've finished Sam's socks, well, I need to finish Mom's socks too. But anyway, these are for Christmas. They're in my Kicks and Giggle Harry Potter bag. Oh, speaking of Harry Potter, Loops is doing the Harry Potter knit along again this fall. If you go to YouTube and look up their podcast, there is a podcast with all the information regarding the Harry Potter knit along. They have pre-orders up now for prefect kits, which they explain what they are exactly, so you can go check that out. And if you are interested in ordering the stripy yarn for the houses, those are up for pre-order now. So if you want to join along for the Harry Potter O-Loops thing this fall, you better go check it out. I ordered my prefect kit. I'm going to be slithering again. Those of us that played last year can stay in our same houses, or we can switch if we want to, if we buy a prefect kit for a different house. But I decided to stay bad. I like the colors. Did I work on anything else? Oh, yes. I cast on a new thing. So my yarn that I spun out of my 2 dealers that had to make friends. This is a Stormfront bat and an abalone braid. The Stormfront bat is from Knitting & Color, and the braid is from the wonderful Dana of Unwind Yarn Company. And this is what I got when I spun them up. I cast on a wheat scarf by Tin Can Knits. It's part of their very simple learn how to knit first pattern kind of thing that they did. There's like a wheat and a barley and rye. Anyway, this is wheat. It's a very simple scarf. It's a free pattern. I love how the pattern makes it kind of flowy, like, you know, push out a little bit at the bottom. Very simple, super simple knit. I wanted something that was very simple, didn't have to think about it. One, for the not having to think about it aspect, because I used this for my knitting when I went down to the SSK market and hung out with friends. I wanted to make sure I had knitting with me that I didn't have to think about. Plus, I wanted it to be very simple to show off the hand spun. And I feel like this knit really shows the hand spun off beautifully. So I have tons of yardage. There'll be a hat to match for sure. Maybe some mitts too. But anyway, Tin Can Knits has awesome patterns. It's in my tangerine design coffee bag. I worked on my endless rainbow just a wee little bit. Had big plans for working on it some more this afternoon, but now I might be distracted. We'll see. I'm using, the blue is Easy Like Sunday Morning, I think. I think that's right, isn't it? Yes, Easy Like Sunday Morning on the Twinkle sock base from Unwind. Unwind. Easy Like Sunday Morning. And the rainbow is Where Bluebirds Fly from the Wizard of Oz series from Spartacus Dyes. I'm stuck. Here. And this is what my rainbow looks like. I'm quite enjoying it. This knit makes me feel terribly clever. Terribly clever. Get all my stuff back in here. Gosh. I'm all hung up. Okay. There. Get my little crochet hook back in there. Alright. And the only other thing I worked on, and I just worked on it a little bit, I still have this gosh darn blanket on the needles. I am working on a log cabin blanket. Ta-da! So, what I'm doing with this blanket, I am finishing up the stripe so that there is no blue around the edge. Alright? Then I'm using said blue and a crochet hook, and I'm picking up around the edges, and then I am going to crochet a blue big old border to make this blanket bigger, quicker, because I can't knit this anymore. And then I will use, once I get the blue as big as I want, Tiger comes to the back door. The front door part's open. He could just come in. But no, he has to come to the back door and meow. Explain that to me. And he'll just sit there and meow until I let him in. So, let me stop for a second. Let me let him in and get myself a drink of water. Be right back. Okay, that's better. Got myself some water. Alright, so I'm going to pick up crochet around the edge of the blanket, knit myself a big fat blue border, and then when I get the blue as big as I want the blanket, I'm going to use the other colors to do once around crochet to tie in the colors from the middle of the blanket where the log cabin is. And I think that way it will look like I planned it and not like I chumped out. I'm chumping out. I realize that, but that's just the way it is. Oh, I wanted to say, so far with Tour de Fleece, I have spun about 2,000 yards. 2,000 yards. And a big chunk of it was Navajo plaid. Alright. I don't think I worked on anything else. Not that that's not enough. So, I went to the SSK market. Had fun. Got to visit new old friends. Made some new ones. Had lovely dinner out, lunch out too. Had an all around nice time visiting, and did a little damage. I got another bat from Knitting Color because I just can't not. I'm not taking these out. I already have a bat from Knitting Color that has this purple in it. And I was looking for something to spin and then to ply them together. And Sarah told me that this is the same purple as the other bat. I showed her a picture of it to remind her which bat I was talking about. So this is Dark Horse, 3.9 ounces. It has Angelina Bamboo, Falkland Firestar, Merino Silk, and Cormo in it. It's all kinds of pretty. The girls bought me a rainbow. This is from Wool Periogi. It's a double rainbow, theme batik, merino, colonial, Polworth, and mixed domestic, 3.7 ounces. So there's two of these. And you can separate them out, or I will be separating them out. The colors might take a little pulling, to the best of my ability. See, like, I can pull the blue off. And I'm going to spin the colors individually and then two-ply it so I can have a rainbow. Also from Knitting Color, I bought a gradient in the Faye colorway. It's BFL Silk. I love BFL Silk. I think it's my absolute favorite to spin. I've only spun BFL Silk from Unwind, so I'm curious if this will be different, but so far, that's what I love. I got Mustache Yarns, Sesame Street. It's a 16 striper, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. And because I just kept seeing everyone else's mustache fiber, That's all I can say. It's just, oh my God. Would I Lime to You, Baby is what the colorway is called. This is my favorite purchase. I cannot wait to spin this baby. It's superwash merino. It's just, oh God. It's just, there's no words for that. It's so awesome. I got my grabby hands on a fiber optic gradient in the Something Wicked colorway. Goes from a very dark, from a purple to a really dark purple out to green. Oh, gotta reach. I got myself a lovely skein of Blossom yarn from Knitting Rose. I've met the lovely Rose several times, but I've never purchased any of her yarn. And I thought this would be a super fun color for Aiden. I always try to get something that will be fun to knit for Aiden when I go someplace. Sorry. And, oh, I got Jinx yarn fiber. This is the I'm a Gambling Man mixed BFL. Evidently, she just started doing fiber, so this is some of her very first. It's just a very dimensional green. I mean, it's going to be a fun spin. There are so many shades of green in that fiber. I can't even count all the different shades. It's just so dimensional. And I got a super awesome bag from the Fat Squirrel. One of my friends did a pre-order, and she pre-ordered one for me too. So I managed to get my grabby hands on a little Fat Squirrel bag. I love the size of her bags. Now this fabric is so me. The color is perfect, but the size is awesome. And I'm glad I get to finally record and show it to you, because that means I can use it now. I registered online. Oh, Knitting Rose is Lisa. Lisa? Anyway, you should go check her out. She has some cool yarn. She doesn't do fiber. You shouldn't have any there, at least. I don't think she does fiber. But she has a yak sock yarn that I really want to try. I couldn't and get like a bunch of other stuff. It's a little bit expensive. Well, it's yak. But she vends at SAF, so I predict for SAF that'll be one of the things I'll get just because I want to try it. That'll be probably one of my splurges. So check out Knitting Rose, and she has a podcast too. She's such a super sweet lady. Check her out. I got a shopping bag for SSK because I registered online to say, hey, I'm coming, which is handy dandy because that made it so much easier to shop and fill it up. I don't think I would have shopped maybe as hard if I've been like, oh. But I was like, man, I need to fill up this bag. And I did. Actually, I didn't do so bad. I wasn't going to buy any yarn, but I was curious about Knitting Rose's yarn, and I couldn't really, didn't need the yak. The yak will be nice for knitting in the wintertime, though. But anyway, I wanted to get something fun. So I got the bright pink and orange. Orange was the word. It's orange and green yarn. Anyway, so that was my haul. And I think that's all I've got for the week. Yeah, we have a pizza in the oven. I smell it. I'm starving. I'm going to eat my pizza, and then I'm going to, I think, finish spinning my poonies from the fondant fiber and work on my rainbow. I think I'm not going to pull the drum carder out today as much as I want to. I feel like it'll be a nice reward after I finish some things up. You guys take care. I will see you soon. Show me all your pretty finished things along with that picture of what it looked like before you finished it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.